Yo, still Mills, what's the deal, man? I'm back. I just left Target. I gotta go to the other Target. I'm over here in Council Bluffs, right across the bridge in Iowa. I gotta jet back over there to town and head over to 72nd Street, man, to see if they got what it is my wife is looking for, man. But peep game, I want to get into some shit, man. And that's Arnold Barboza and Kenny Sims Jr., man. I'm gonna keep shit all sorts of gangster with you, man. I didn't even watch this fight, right? I didn't even watch this fight. And I just feel, with these two dudes and their base style, their fighting identity, I knew what it was gonna be. And it was gonna be that of this slickster shit, man. Man, listen, man. It's time to let it go. Not let it go, but it's time to add other attributes and abilities to your game, bro. It just is, man. Y'all cannot be so caught up with the sweet science of shit to the point where you forget that this is carnal activity at the end of the day. This is a blood sport. Motherfuckers getting their shit wired. You feel me? This is a brutal sport. And that the brutality is what draws people to the sport. You can't be so caught up with that, with this slickster shit and this sweet science and hit and not get hit shit that you lose sight of that and lose focus of that. You still have a job to entertain the crowd. And when people are fucking booing you, you are getting booed. That is a revelation right there that maybe I need to switch some shit up. Because this shit just ain't working. It's not as appealing as people would like to believe that it is, man. You niggas is not Floyd Mayweather. Y'all are not Floyd Mayweather, and even then, Floyd didn't fucking fight like that early on. And even then, Floyd didn't fight like that when he became Money Mayweather. Floyd was still at a range where you could reach out and touch him. It's just if you had the ability to do so, you could do it. He ain't fight like this shit, man. The way you niggas is fight, it's a poor man's interpretation of the sweet science of which Floyd Mayweather was. Y'all gotta cut that shit out. Y'all gotta cut that shit out. I went and watched the highlights. I'm like, I just do not have the patience to watch this fight. And I went and I watched the highlights of that shit, and sure enough, crowd booing. I don't know how y'all don't understand how, like, that shit don't bother y'all. That shit don't bother y'all. Are the fans in the ring fighting? No, they're not in the ring fighting, but they're the ones who's paying to get a ticket. They're the ones coming to see you fight. It's their dollars that are going into your pocket, so how dare you sit there and dismiss them and disregard their wants to be entertained because you don't want to put yourself in a position where you can fuck around and get hurt, which that is the sport. Yes, you're supposed to take that risk because you signed. This is the career path that you chose. You got to go in there. You may have to get some shit put on. You may have to get some knots on your head. You may have to get a black eye, busted lip, broken jaw, broken nose, broken orbital bone. It's what comes with the sport. It's what comes with the sport. And you don't get to dismiss people's wanting to be entertained because you want to take on this sweet science type approach to the fight. No, that's not how it goes. Because when money starts drying up and there's no demand to watch you fight, what then? And y'all niggas is already not high profile fighters as it is. Don't nobody care about no fucking Kenny Sims Jr. and no Arnold Barboza. That's how Teofimo was able to step around you for all them years. Because you was just not in demand like that, man. And you hurt your case when you fight in the way that you fight. That amateur style shit, man. Where, it's about getting pointing a motherfucker to death. In between there is just droughts of downtime, bro. No. Y'all got the game all wrong, man. No, you cannot. The fact that it is niggas out here being guilt tripped because they're being vocal about the fact that they don't want to watch that shit, that is blowing me. Y'all are the minority in this situation. Because people come to boxing and combat sports to see combat. They don't come to see the minimalist approach, even though there's a beauty in that style, but you still have to engage. It shouldn't be that much downtime of moving around and fainting and shit. People want to see engagement. If you're gonna use that style, you can stick. That doesn't mean you have to be reluctant to engage. Engage a nigga. Simple as that. Why I gotta fucking watch you do? I don't want to watch you just like I keep saying, man. You 2 or 3 feet of distance between you and the level of opposition in front of you is just not entertaining. It's not healthy for the sport. If we're being real. I knew what it was going. I'm like, yo, these two dudes are the same. They practically have the same style of fighting, where they fight off the back foot. That's not healthy for boxing, dog. It's not. Y'all have to come out of your comfort zone. Y'all have to get out of that mind state. Y'all have to get out of that mind state. And then niggas got the nerve to get mad at Turkey when he talk about Tom and Jerry shit. You can't get mad at him for that because he's understanding for the for some of the part. Because if he was understanding of the fans and what our wants was, he wouldn't be trying as diligently as he is to make everything a pay-per-view blockbuster fight. But he is to a certain degree in tune with some of the fans, and he knows that this shit isn't selling, dog. We don't want to see this shit. We gonna make the ring smaller. Knockout of the night incentives, you dig? Knockout in general incentives, you dig? Y'all, I really this is why I'm so reluctant for Floyd Mayweather to make his return to fight Manny Pacquiao, because it's gonna be your influence is still impactful enough in the minds of these fans, not fans, but fighters, that we don't need to see another generation sullied with this style and approach of fighting, bro. We don't. These dudes don't have the accolades as you. They don't have the reflexes as you. They're not as skilled as you are. They're not as tactful as you are. They'll ignore your pretty boy Floyd days and highlight your Money Mayweather days. Man, come on, man. We do not need more. We don't need more of this shit, bro. We don't. I was overjoyed when Oscar Duarte went in there and he did what he did to Kenny Sims, man. We need more of that. We need more of that, and we need more Oscar Duarte, less of Kenny Sims. But we need the in between as well. We need more boxer punchers. We do. God damn, man. Y'all can just the level of skill it takes to slip a shot right there in the pocket, weave up under a hook, get to the side of the uppercut, step back off an uppercut, right? And you don't throw uppercuts unless you're right there in somebody's space for you to actually be in a position to land a shot. Otherwise, you run the risk of breaking your wrist. When you're right there and you're still finding a way to defend yourself and get around these shots, that takes so much more skill than running all around the damn ring, keeping 3 feet of distance between you and the opponent, man. I used to be one of them niggas, man. Oh, you did the sweet side, man. Fuck out of here. I'm tired of it. Last May, I'm cool, bro. I'm good. It is way too much of this shit. And people are so fucking, just brain rotten that they think just because you kept 2 and 3 feet of real estate between you and your opponent that you actually win the fight like that. You don't gotta even swing. Just keeping distance, that much distance between you and an opponent, that's enough to get you rounds in the heart of a lot of these fans. And they'll ignore the forward aggression. They'll ignore the ring generalship that's forcing you off of your back foot. They'll ignore that aspect and how scoring a fight goes. They'll ignore that and just solely focus on the fact that you may not have been able to cut the ring off as effectively as, another individual can. No, bro. God damn. No. Pack that shit up. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. I don't get it. I didn't even watch that fight. I watched the highlights, and even the highlights, I'm hearing the boos, bro. I'm hearing the boo birds in the crowd. Boo. I don't get how that doesn't bother y'all. And it's not even New York, bro. The Barclays Center, they got the worst crowds because them is the... You can spend 30 seconds. The first round out the gate, they booing when you're still getting adjusted to a fighter. When you're still downloading information, they're booing. This is the first 30 seconds of the fight. Barclays say, Brooklyn ass niggas. That crowd pisses me off. Because it's like you ain't even allowing them that opportunity to get into a rhythm. But when we get to round 4, round 5 and all that shit, and y'all, it's still more of the same, minimal output, too much movement, 3 feet of fucking real estate between you and the opponent, touching every turnbuckle on all sides of the ropes, on all sides of the ring, in one round. That's where it's just like, all right, my nigga, this shit is getting unbearable. If I have to disengage from the fight and get on my phone or find some other shit to do, come on, man. Like, do we even gotta say it? Respect the sport, man. Respect the sport. Respect the sport, and respect the bottom line. Respect your supporting base. Respect the motherfuckers that came and paid a ticket to watch your fucking ass fight. Respect them. Respect them. If you are the headliner and you doing that shit, you have an obligation and a duty to respect their wants and their needs. And their want and their need is to be entertained. Otherwise, they wouldn't have copped a ticket to watch you fight. Respect that. That's all it is, man. Respect that. No one is saying get rid of the slickster style. What we're saying is add to it. Add to it. You fast on your feet, you can backpedal. You can backpedal fast enough to keep 2 or 3 feet of distance between you and your opposition. That tells me you can get in and out just as fast. All right, cool. Let's at least work on your in and out game. Can you give us a B-ball type get down? Can you do that? Y'all don't spin. Y'all don't pivot and shift. Because that puts y'all niggas in harm's way. You got to use hooks and uppercuts. You dig? You know what I'm saying? To create and cut those angles. That puts you in harm's way. So you know, a safe distance for you is a 1 and a 2. A up jab. A swivel jab. Something along them lines, man. Anything to keep you out of harm's way. Niggas is tired of it, man. That wasn't a good account of boxing, man. Same with Arnold Barboza and Jack Catterall. I still haven't went back and watched that fight. And I'm not. Because those styles need to be, if you're going to have that style, pair them up with somebody who's at least going to force the fight. Pair them up with somebody who's at least going to force the fight. Richardson Hitchens and Devin Haney, I absolutely do not want to see that fight. I do not. I do not want to see Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson. Are they necessary fights because of the accomplishments that these dudes have? Yeah, they're necessary fights, but it's not fights that I'm interested in seeing. They're names on paper. They're good names to have on paper, but I don't want to see it. And I refuse to apologize about it. I'm not. You can't tell me, oh, you wrong. You just want to see niggas get beat up. Yeah, I do. I do. But I want to see if you can fight at a range to where you're more susceptible to getting hit at. I want to know what your instincts are like. I keep saying this. You have to develop instincts at these, in close quarters. It's only going to benefit you as you grow as a fighter. Because you are not going to have the luxury of keeping somebody at the end of your straight shots. Somebody is going to find a way to contradict that. And once that happens, it's going to get dark for a lot of you niggas. It's going to get dark. Kenny Sims in particular. We saw what happened in 2 fights ago with Oscar Duarte. We saw that. We saw it. Respect the fans, respect the sport. I keep saying, if you think the only way to win a fight is using your feet as opposed to using your hands, go watch Taekwondo. Because that's not how you win a boxing match. You have to engage. Scoring is the bottom line in the sport of boxing. If you got somebody bent to your will like that, man, ain't nothing wrong with stepping in, letting a few of them go and getting back out. You know how much that creates so many knockout opportunities where they're hitting you and you're hitting them and they can't hit you. When you do finally have that moment where you step in and they're at a range where they can hit you and they don't hit you, they're so worried about getting hit, they clamor up. And by the time they're ready to let a shot go, you already out of range. That builds frustration. And frustration leads to mistakes. Y'all don't capitalize on it because y'all don't put yourself in a position to do it. God damn. Get these niggas the fuck up out of here. That's all I have to say about this shit, man. Develop instincts, man. Fuck all that slickster shit. If you can't find a way to mix it up. You can't find a way to mix it up. I don't want to see it. I do not want to see it. And I'm not feeling bad about saying that shit neither. Shout out to a Boots, even though I'm not a fan of Boots. Boots, Tiger Johnson, Ellie Scottney, Katie Taylor, Alicia Baumgartner. They have those, boxer punchers, but they have other additives to their game that they can rely on in a situation where the pressure to them may be insurmountable. I got to get out, set up traps, or you're on the go, you're mobile, and I have to go on the hunt. Shout out to them who have those styles. Get them other niggas the fuck up out of here, yo. And that's all I got to say. Doses.